Hello, and welcome to the Meadow Review, your favorite ASMR program where we discuss books that are Meadow reads or Meadow reads. Most of these books were found either on the side of the road, a thrift store, or a free library. Books are everywhere. All you have to do is look. And what could be better than laying down in a meadow and reading your favorite book? But what could be worse than walking to a meadow and discovering the book you brought is not meadow appropriate? Well, many things, because you'll still be in a beautiful meadow. But that's beside the point. Here at the Meadow Review, we are all about maximizing meadow moments to be the most pleasurable and relaxing experiences possible. So, let's begin. Today we will review 101 famous poems, The Power of Angels, Charles Bukowski poetry. For our first book today, we have 101 famous poems. This is a nice hardcover copy of the book, which is good because in case you get caught in the rain or perchance you spill your wine, you will have no problems with this book. It has a prose supplement as well, and this book was copyrighted in 1958 by Contemporary Books Incorporated. It's good news for us, meaning this is in the Creative Commons. Let's read the preface, shall we? This is the age of science, of steel, of speed, and the cement road. The age of hard faces and hard highways. Science and steel demand the medium of prose. Speed requires only the look, the gesture. What need then for poetry? Great need. There are souls in these noise-tired times that turn aside into unfrequented lanes, where the deep woods have harbored the fragrances of many a blossoming season. Here the light, filtering through perfect forms, arranges itself in lovely patterns for those who perceive beauty. It is the purpose of this little volume to enrich, ennoble, encourage, and for man, and might I add woman or non-binary person, who has learned to love convenience, it is hardly larger than his concealing pocket. I don't know about you, but this is a little bit bigger than any of my pockets. Nevertheless, a lovely preface. I do agree that we are in great need of poetry in our lives. So the first poem I'd like to read is called Trees by Sargent Joyce Gilmer. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. I think that is a lovely poem to read in a meadow. It says that our dear Sergeant Joyce Kilmer was killed in action in July 30th, 1918. I wonder if he still holds true to the line, "I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree." I suppose that depends on what the afterlife is like. Here we have a poem by a woman, which is nice to see in this old book. I expect there's not a lot of diversity here. This is called Solitude by Ella Wheeler Wilcox, born November 5th, 1855, and died October 30th, 1919. Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own. Sing, and the hills will answer. Sigh, it is lost on the air. The echoes bound to a joyful sound, but shrink from voicing care. Rejoice, and men will seek you. Grieve, and they turn and go. They want full measure of all your pleasure, but they do not need your woe. Be glad, and your friends are many. Be sad, and you lose them all. There are none to decline your nectared wine, but alone you must drink life's gall. Feast, and your halls are crowded. Fast, and the world goes by. Succeed, and give, and it helps you live, but no man can help you die. There is room in the halls of pleasure for a long and lordly train, but one by one we must all file on through the narrow aisle of pain. Oh, Ella, I feel you on a lot of that. Though there does seem to be some contradiction in your poem. You think on the one hand there's no room for sadness and friendship, yet on the other, we all must file on through the narrow aisles of pain. Is it not indeed the role of the friend to be there through life's toils? Would be nice to discuss with Ella, but she died October 30th, 1919, so that shan't be happening. Let's read one more, shall we? Waiting by John Burroughs. Serene, I fold my hands and wait, nor care for wind, nor tide, nor sea. I rave no more 'gainst time or fate, for lo, my own shall come to me. I stay my haste, I make delays. For what avails this eager pace? I stand amid the eternal ways, and what is mine shall know my face. Asleep, awake, by night or day, the friends I seek are seeking me. No wind can drive my bark astray, nor change the tide of destiny. What matter if I stand alone? I wait with joy the coming years. My heart shall reap where it has sown, and garner up its fruit of tears. The waters know their own, and draw the brook that springs in yonder height. So flows the good with equal law, unto the soul pure delight. The stars come nightly to the sky, the tidal wave unto the sea. Nor time, nor space, nor deep, nor high, can keep my own away from me. Similar themes to what we read in our last poem. I feel like John and, I forget her name already, Ella, I believe it was, perhaps could have relieved some of each other's longing for friendship. All in all, 101 famous poems, I would say, is a Meadow read. I would recommend bringing this in your very large pocket along with you to the meadow the next time you go. Our next selection is The Power of Angels by Joanne Brocas. This is a book I found in a free library. We have a colorful cover with a bright, shiny angel on it. It looked really beautiful with the colors of the meadow, so that already gains it a meadow point. It says, discover how to connect, communicate, and heal with the angels. That sounds like something that might be nice to do in a meadow. This book is not an independent guide for self-healing. The author is not a medical doctor, psychiatrist, or psychologist, but she does not diagnose, and she does not diagnose diseases or prescribe treatment. Okay, Joanne. At the beginning, we have a quote of St. Thomas Aquinas. An angel can illumine the thought and mind of man by strengthening the power of vision and by bringing within his reach some truth which the angel himself contemplates. That's nice. She has a list of the celestial hierarchy, which I always find interesting, that heaven is a hierarchy. So here we have a list. The first order of angels consists of the seraphim, the cherubim, and the thrones. The second order of angels consists of the dominions, the virtues, and the powers. And the third order of angels is the principalities, the archangels, and the general angels. From from this group, we have the best known of all angels, the guardian angels. So what does all this mean? Well, the seraphim are magnificent angels of love, light, and illumination that surround, protect, and are closest to the throne of God. They are depicted as fiery spirits, glowing ones, or burning ones, as the light they shine is so intensely bright that it looks just like burning flames. They are the highest choir of angels and are therefore superior to all of the other angels ranked below them within the celestial hierarchy. Okay, I like the sound of the cherubim. The seraphim. Now let's read about the cherubim. The cherubim are ranked the second highest in the 9 choirs of angels. They are powerful guardians of the divine throne and are personal attendants of God. One of their main responsibilities is to magnify the glory of God, power, and the will of God. They are keepers of celestial records, of the stars and the heavens. The cherubim possess a deep knowledge and insight about the mysteries of heaven and knowledge of God, and, being enlightened, they help to bestow the wisdom to the angels of the ranks below them. So between the seraphim and the cherubim, what kind of angel would you rather be? The cherubim sound like they're wise bookkeepers, while the seraphim sound like they're just glowing vibrations of light. I think I would like to be a seraphim. Great questions to contemplate in a meadow. Lots of good questions in here, like what to ask your guardian angel. You can ask them, please, can you help me find a peaceful solution to a problem that is currently going on? You could ask, please, can you help me find romantic love or friendship? Please, can you help me in the development of my creative gifts and talents? Or, please, can you help me find a parking space? It's a pretty practical question to ask your angels. I wonder if you could ask them, please, can you make the other people in this meadow go away so I can have it all to myself? I'm sure that you can. There is an overview of different feathers and what they might mean if you find them. There's information on angel music and angel dreams, angel objects, angel nudges, and butterflies. You might encounter butterflies in the meadow, and in fact it might be an angel message for you. So I recommend The Power of Angels as a meadow read. It gains my stamp of approval. Moving right along. Our next selection is Essential Bukowski Poetry, selected and edited by Abel de Brito. We have another hardcover book, which you already know I favor for Meadows. That's a good sign. I found this book on the side of the road, and I thought perhaps I would read it in a meadow. The first poem poem I'll read is called As the Sparrow. To give life, you must take life. And as our grief falls flat and hollow upon the billion-blooded sea, I pass upon serious inward breaking shoals rimmed with white-legged, white-bellied, rotting creatures lengthily dead and rioting against surrounding scenes. Dear child, I only did to you what the sparrow did to you. I am old when it is fashionable to be young. I cry when it is fashionable to laugh. I hated you when it would have taken less courage to love. That's an interesting poem. A little dark, but so is nature at times. Something you might see in a meadow, perhaps. Here we have a poem called The Trashmen. I'm not as intrigued by the title here, but here they come. These guys, gray truck radio playing. They are in a hurry. It's quite exciting. Shirt open, bellies hanging out. They run out the trash bins, roll them out to the forklift, and then the truck grinds it upward with far too much sound. They had to fill out application forms to get these jobs. They are paying for homes and drive late model cars. They get drunk on Saturday night. Now, in the Los Angeles sunshine, they run back and forth with their trash bins. All that trash goes somewhere. And they shout to each other. Then they are all up in the truck driving west toward the sea. None of them know that I am alive. Again, another interesting poem. A meditation, perchance, on passing people that one might observe and wonder what their life is like and then never speak to again. That being said, I do not encounter many trashmen during my time in the meadow. I'm not sure if that helps your case, Bukowski. Together, let's read one final selection. We'll read just a part of Retirement. Pork chops, said my father. I love pork chops. And I watched him slide the grease into his mouth. Pancakes, he said, pancakes with syrup, butter, and bacon. I watched his lips heavy wetted with all that. Coffee, he said. I like coffee so hot it burns my throat. Sometimes it was too hot and he spit it out across the table. Mashed potatoes and gravy, he said. I love mashed potatoes and gravy. He jowled that in, his cheeks puffed as if he had the mumps. Chili and beans, he said. I love chili and beans. And he gulped it down and farted for hours, loudly grinning after each fart. Perhaps an accurate depiction of retirement and his father. However, not my choice for a meadow read. I rate this a don't read, unfortunately. So we're gonna chuck that guy back out into the meadow, but we're not gonna leave him there. We're gonna pick him up and take him home, or put him back in a free pile, because he does not belong with us in the meadow. So thank you for joining me today in the Meadow review. I hope you enjoyed our 2 Meadow read selections and that you're ready to throw away our Meadow read selections should you have them on hand or encounter them anywhere along your life's path. Once again, I appreciate you being here with me today for a Meadow read, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Meadow Review.